I know this is going to come as quite a surprise, but I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and that is one of the reasons why we talk about it quite a bit here. Once a year, typically, around May the 4th, Star Wars Day. And I like a lot about Star Wars, but I think the thing that I love the most is, as Pastor Marcelo was telling us earlier, it is deeply spiritual. So George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, grew up Methodist, and pieces of Christianity found their way into Star Wars. The whole notion of the cosmic battle between good and evil, the fact that somebody could be lifted up to bring balance to the universe, and even pieces of liturgy like, "May the 4th be with you. May the Force be with you. May the Lord be with you. May the peace of Christ be with you." You get it? It makes its way into Star Wars. Now, George Lucas describes himself as a Buddhist Methodist. And I know some of you here consider yourselves to be Buddhist Christians. And so he took elements of Buddhism as well. In fact, the whole notion of Jedi Knights was inspired by Buddhist monks. And just like Jedi Knights spend their lives trying to get more in touch with the universe, the Force, so that they might be they might be guided by the impulses of that force. That so Buddhists spend their lives studying the universe so that they might become more in touch with the energy of the universe, so that they might attain enlightenment and finally reach nirvana, the escape from the cycle of death and rebirth. And then other elements of Eastern tradition find themselves into Star Wars too, like Taoism, for instance. And in Taoism, there is this notion of the way, the Tao, this energy of the universe that permeates all life, that is both within us and all around us. And the goal in Taoism, the perfect Taoist, is someone who is in tune with the universe, who takes note of the ebbs and flows and lets the energy of the universe guide them. So it is with the Force in Star Wars. And then there's this notion in Eastern traditions about the yin and the yang, about good and evil, about light and dark, about balance and how it is that we achieve balance. You see, Star Wars is deeply spiritual. I love in Star Wars that we get a dynamic story. A story that changes but is always seeking balance. I love that we see the rise and fall of different political systems. I love that we see people who are struggling with whether they are going to do right or to do wrong. And we see that no matter what manifestation of Star Wars we're looking at, no matter what point in the Star Wars timeline we see people with similar choices. Are you going to do what's right or not? Are you going to embrace the light side of the Force, or are you going to give in to the dark side of the Force? And if you accept the light side of the Force, that is no guarantee that you won't be tempted by the dark side. And if you have been overtaken by the dark side, there is always a chance that you still might accept the light, that ultimately no one is irredeemable. And I love that story. I love the choices that people get to make. And I love us being invited to think about the choices that we make too. And what we are embracing, how we are in tune with God, with the universe, with love and acceptance in our lives as well. I also love that the decisions that the characters make have real, lasting impacts. It has impacts on their lives, and it has impacts on the universe around them. The prequel trilogy, which is the trilogy that came out when I was in high school and early college. I was not born yet when the original trilogy came out. But the prequels came out when I was in high school, and they weren't real well received whenever they first came out. But I think in retrospect, they've aged better than they were initially received. And one of the things that I appreciate about the prequels, especially the episode 3, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. It's in theaters, I think, right now, if you still want to see it. One of the things that I appreciate about those prequels, and especially episode 3, is that we get to see the fall of the Republic. It echoes, of course, the fall of Rome, or at least the Roman Republic, you know. Rome was a strong example of a republic till Julius Caesar was granted temporary power that he never gave up. And the Roman Republic dissolved and became the Roman Empire, and the name Caesar became synonymous with the Roman emperor. In Star Wars, we see the Republic strong at its height in the prequels, but through the actions of one person, Senator, then Chancellor, then Emperor Palpatine, we see the dissolution of the Roman Republic and the rise of the galactic, or the galactic empire, the fall of the Republic and the rise of the galactic empire. I want to show just a quick scene from episode 3 where we see that fall. Let's take a look.
And the Jedi Rebellion has been foiled.
What's happened?
The Chancellor's been elaborating on a plot by the Jedi to overthrow the Senate.
And the remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated. The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger. In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
And as Padme says, this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. And how does it happen? One person, Palpatine, comes up with a plot in which he lies, he spreads misinformation, and finds a scapegoat, in this case, the Jedi, blames it all on them, and uses that as an excuse to grab power. Sound familiar? A little bit, right? It's a reminder of how delicate republics are, even constitutional republics with representative democracies, how quickly they can fall. And it is a reminder that there is a call to embrace the light side, to embrace the side that values diversity of opinion, diversity of belief, that values diversity of leadership, and embraces that. It is a reminder that with the fragility of republics, that we all have an obligation to stand on behalf of those whose rights are being oppressed, whose rights are being taken away. And so in the United States today, as we see the possibility of a republic that is shaky at the moment, it is our obligation, our duty to continue to fight for justice. You know, The story we hear throughout Star Wars is a story about a rebellion, about a people who fight for the rights of others. And I'm reminded of the rebellion that Jesus started. It wasn't a violent rebellion, but it was a non-violent rebellion in which he encouraged his followers to go out to fight non-violently against the Roman Empire by continuing to proclaim the principles of love, of compassion, and peace through the presence of justice. And so it is our call to do exactly the same, to go out and to be a part of the non-violent rebellion. And you all are doing that by going out to marches, by writing letters, by calling your representatives and senators and emailing and organizing together and coming here and being a part of this ship that we are working for the reign of God for together. Thank you, friends, for being a part of the Jesus Rebellion. May the force be with you. And may it be so. And thanks be to God. Amen.